Do you get shoulder pain, popping, maybe tightness when reaching overhead or reaching behind your back for your seatbelt? If you answered yes to these questions, stay tuned, because in this video, we're going to give you 3 simple exercises you can do at home to start reducing the tightness, reducing the pain. All right, let's get into the video. Let's check it out. Welcome to another episode of Physio Tips with Marrow. I'm your host, Marrow Burnett. And for those of you that don't know me, I'm a board-certified orthopedic specialist in physical therapy and the owner of Australian Physiotherapy Specialists here in Jacksonville, Florida. For today's video, we're going to talk a little bit about shoulder pain and popping, classic signs of possible weakness of the rotator cuff. Okay, what are the rotator cuff? The rotator cuff are 4 muscles that are designed to stabilize and hold the arm bone into the socket while you're lifting your arm. Powerful muscles like the deltoid lift the arm up, while the rotator cuff muscles underneath the deltoid stabilize the shoulder. This creates a nice length-tension relationship and allows the arm to lift into high degrees of motion without having popping, cracking, or slipping within the joint. Maybe you've had an injury to your shoulder in the past. Maybe you've had a surgery to your shoulder. But if you start noticing that it's popping, it's cracking, it feels different than the other side, and it just doesn't feel strong or perform for you as well as it should, in this video, we're going to give you 3 simple to do exercises so you can start strengthening your rotator cuff, stabilizing your shoulder, decreasing your pain, and improving your function. We're going to get into the first exercise. The first exercise is called the clock exercise. We're going to go out in the gym area. I'm going to show you how to do it. Let's take a look. Exercise number 1, the clock exercise. For the clock exercise, I'm going to use a piece of equipment that I picked up at a local Target. It's called the Perfect Pushup. What we're going to do is take this device. We're going to stretch your arm out, put the Perfect Push-Up against the wall, and then what we're going to do, we're going to rotate my arm with a little bit of weight bearing through the arm. We're going to imagine a clock. I'm going to go to 11 o'clock, and then I'm going to rotate to 1 o'clock. 11 o'clock, and back to 1 o'clock. We can do sets of 10 to 20, maybe even 30 reps, and then we can build up to doing 2 or 3 sets of this. This can easily be done once a day, or if you need to, you could do it every other day if your shoulders feels fatigued or maybe you've overdone it. A great weight-bearing exercise to be able to drive the arm deeper into the socket, promoting stability and proprioception. Proprioception is a term that means position sense, knowing where your shoulder's at in space. And it's a great exercise for turning on your rotator cuff. Specifically, one of the muscles of the rotator cuff called the subscapularis. The subscapularis is the largest of the 4 rotator cuff muscles. It loves weight-bearing exercise. So anything that looks like a push-up-esque exercise where there's weight through the arm activates the subscapularis. One of the jobs of the subscapularis is it prevents the humerus bone, the arm bone, from translating too far forward. 95% of dislocations occur when it slides too far forward. So it's a great restraint of forward movement of the humerus. Okay, the next exercise we're going to get into is called the push-up with a plus. Let's take a look at that next. Let's look at the push-up with a plus. We've got our test subject. Notice his elbows are straight, his arms are against the ball's against the wall. We've got a little bit of weight bearing through the hands. Now what our test subject's going to do, he's going to push into the ball a little bit while separating his shoulder blades around his torso. This is called the push-up with a plus. Imagine you were doing a push-up on the floor and you push just a little bit extra, maybe a ½ inch extra. It elongates your arm some, and it causes your shoulder blades not to come together, not like a row exercise, but it causes them to separate a little bit. It's a great exercise for a couple very important muscles of the shoulder. The first muscle is the serratus anterior. Serratus anterior is a great muscle for helping to elevate the scapula or the shoulder blade when you're reaching overhead. The second muscle that's super important here that we just talked about earlier, is the subscapularis. The subscapularis has an upper half and a lower half. And when doing the push-up with a plus exercise, it activates both halves of the subscapularis beautifully. It's a great exercise. So we've seen exercises in the gym where maybe you rotate a cable in and out. Those are great exercises too. But the push-up with a plus, fantastic for getting your rotator cuff, fantastic for helping your shoulder blade. All right, let's look at the next exercise. We're going to look at weight bearing through the hand and doing a little bit of up and down and side to side. Let's take a look at that next. Let's look at our test subject once again. Now, we've got the ball on the wall, elbows straight, a little bit of weight bearing through the arm again. We talked about how that activates the rotator cuff. And this time, we're going to do a little different variation. Our test subject's going to do a little bit up and down in a short range of motion. Could be slow, it could be a little bit faster, it could even be a little ballistic. And then we're going to do side to side. There we go. We could do maybe 10 or 20 reps side to side, take a break, and then do 20 reps up and down. Maybe it's 10 reps up and down, 10 reps side to side. Depends on when your arm starts to feel fatigue. If you start to get pain, obviously stop and take a break. If it's too painful, it's not the right exercise for you. But if you can tolerate this exercise, it's fantastic for strengthening the rotator cuff, improving proprioception, and getting your shoulder to perform better. Great exercise along with the other two. Put them together and you've got 2 or 3 simple things that you can do to start getting your shoulder feeling better. So to review, we have the clock exercise, we have the push-up with a plus, and we have the ball on the wall, side to side, and up and down. You could work up to 3 sets of 10 of each of the exercises. You could try it once a day or once every other day. Give it a try for a few weeks. See how it makes your arm feel. If it starts to decrease your popping, decrease your pain, that's perfect. It's right for you. Keep doing it. If it doesn't feel good, makes you feel worse, discontinue. Try something different. Hope you enjoyed today's video on these 3 exercises. I hope you got something out of it. And thanks for tuning in to another episode of Physio Tips with Marrow. Don't forget to hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more free videos like this on physical therapy related tips. Thanks a lot, guys, and we'll catch you next time on Physio Tips with Marrow.